Hello, my lovely Flosstube friends. How are you? This is Flosstube number 54. It is Friday, the 21st of February, and my name is Sally. I am Flossie Sews and Grows here on YouTube and over on Instagram. This is a channel predominantly about cross stitch, and when the weather's slightly better, it's just suddenly gone all sunny through the black clouds. I like to talk about my garden as well, but the last 2 years, or since I've been doing Flosstube, it's kind of not been overly successful gardening. There we go. Maybe this summer will be better. Maybe this year will be different. Thank you for joining me. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. It's lovely to see you here, and it'd be great if at the end you could just go and do all the things that you need to do, like this, send me a little comment, tell me a little bit about yourself, subscribe, and just do that little bell, which will give you a notification when I next come back. And yeah, that would be great. If you're a regular subscriber, a regular viewer, welcome back. Great to see you, and thank you for coming and joining me again to talk about my stitching. I don't feel I've got a huge amount to show this week. Last time I saw you, I was all raring to go on tackling the box of doom and trying to get some things fully finished, and it didn't kind of happen. I don't know why. Work has been really busy, really busy the last couple of weeks. Been really hectic. So perhaps feeling a little bit more tired, and maybe, you know, when I'm not working, I've just perhaps wanted to just do normal stitching and yeah, not have to use my brain too much. But yeah, still got a reasonable amount to show you. So no finishes. I have one start. This is, I have started the Cotton and Twine February 25 pattern out of their monthly box. Now, I was really kindly gifted this by the ladies at Historical Sampler Company who do the monthly Cotton and Twine boxes, and this is an absolutely gorgeous chart. And if you'd like to see the contents of the box, I did do an unboxing in my last Flosstube, so you can go and have a look at that. I just, you know, they send me these early so that I can show them to you, and I thought I've got to start it as well so that you can have a look. Just a reminder, I didn't stitch it. I'm not stitching it on the fabric that they've sent, but the fabric, you can get this as Ada or a linen box, and I've had the linen, but actually I saw this and thought it'd be perfect for a different project, and I had something else I wanted to use, so I'm earmarking it for something else. But fabric, you get some finishing items. So this month got the gingham and some white rickrack and the lovely threads. I've cut mine shorter, folded them over and cut them shorter because I stitch with one strand, and that's just made it easier for me. But they're beautiful colours. And here is my start. Here we go. Absolutely gorgeous, I think. Here's my little start. So I decided that I wanted to use a smaller count fabric because I do tend to stitch on 36 and 40 count. So I wanted something just a little bit more yellowy coloured because I thought it might make it a little bit more Eastery. So I picked this fabric, which is from Swan Bay Fabrics, and it's called Mary Sampler. It's easier to hold it without the board, and it's just beautiful. And those bunnies, the little Easter egg, just beautiful. So I'm really pleased I've made a little start on this just so you can see what it looks like. And again, I think in the past I might have perhaps avoided boxes like this because I thought, oh, they're 32 count and I like stitching on a higher count, but just they're such beautiful charts. Everything else is wonderful that you get with them. To be able to just swap the fabric out or just change it slightly to make it be a bit creative and make it a bit more yours, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm so pleased. So just think it's going to look absolutely beautiful. So that's the model. You see the model stitched on Ada. So it's just a little bit, obviously that's stitched 2 over 2 strands, and I'm doing mine 1 over 2. So a little bit more kind of prim looking, but I think it's going to look beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to getting some more stitching in on that one in the next couple of weeks, and that will definitely be a finish for Easter, which is great. So that was my first new start. My only new start actually. So, and actually so the boxes, I have said this on my previous Flosstube, you can get the Ada or the linen. So the Ada boxes are £20 and the linen boxes are £22, and then obviously postage on top depending on where you are. The sign up for this box in particular finishes on the 25th of February. So the 21st of February today. So you've still got 4 more days that you could order this in. Now you can sign up for a monthly subscription. You can also do 3, 6 or 12 month subscriptions where you'd get the boxes for every month for 3 months, every month for 6 months, etc. And those plans are slightly cheaper if you sign up for those 3, 6 or 12 month subscription plans. You can also, if you have never tried one of these boxes before and you'd really like to, there is a 15% off code, which is first 15, which you can pop in when you order it online, and you'll get 15% off. That's just for this month, I believe. So there we go. Beautiful. And I'm so thankful and pleased that the ladies at Historic Sampler Company have asked me to if I'd like these boxes every month so that I can show them to you, because I've just really enjoyed stitching that so far, and you'll see my other WIP later on from them as well. So WIPs. So WIP number 1, I'm just going to pop this one away while otherwise it will be rather chaotic when I finish. So let's just pop this in its project bag. There we go. So WIP number 1 is the Quacker. The sun's coming out again. Oh goodness. I meant to, so normally on a Friday I do have to do a little bit of work, but I don't have to do an awful lot. I just really have to kind of check in and make sure that things are running smoothly, and if anything is needed by a client, I can provide it. So I kind of just dip in and out of my email throughout the day, but not really, don't really sit down at my desk. And I do try and go to the gym. And then every other Friday I'll try and record for you. Now, kind of when I'm going to the gym on my own, it's quite a quick process, in, out, home. And normally, you know, not before it gets too late, I'm recording for you. But half term started, they finished school yesterday, half term, first day today, they're off today, Friday, and all of next week. So Felicity's come to the gym with me today with one of her friends, well, 2 of her friends actually, and one of my friends. So 2 mums and 3 girls. And so everything's just taken a little bit longer. So normally I try, you know, the sun is coming in now because it's the afternoon. And normally I try and film when it's further round that way, so it doesn't bother me as much. So if I go too late. But I thought it's quite cloudy today. It might be okay. It might not bother us too much. But anyway. So WIP number 1 is the Quacker. And this is from Star Parade Designs, and it's Mikel who designed this. And you've all heard the story before. For those of you who are new, Mikel was on our table at the Big Stitch last summer and showed us his finish of this, and the whole table just went crazy. We went so crazy, a couple of ladies on the next table over came to see what the commotion was, and we all decided to start this as the Quackalong. So we've got a stitch along with the hashtag Quackalong. So one of the Quackalong ladies suggested a couple of weeks ago that we perhaps had a day once a month where we stitched, because it's a big chart. We've all decided we want to have it stitched for Big Stitch next year, which is June 2026. But you know, it's a big chart, so we really need to kind of get on with it. So I'll show you a picture of where it was last time. So we decided we would do a ducky day. So the second Sunday of every month, we will all be stitching. Well, as those of us who can, it's, you know, there's no rules. It's you do you. But those of us who can and who want to are going to do Ducky Day and stitch on their Quacker. So here is where I got to. Some really good progress. I stitched quite a lot of this. That's do you know what? Just bear with me. Let's see if there we go. That's much better, isn't it? There we go. It's not quite so bothersome for you or for me. For me in particular, it was. So as you can see, I managed to get quite a big chunk of this done, and I think I might have just got a little bit of over here done, but actually it was I got 550 stitches into this on that Sunday, so I was really pleased with my progress. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Zweigart called Aqua, and I'm stitching it with whatever Roxy Floss Co colours I have in my stash and that I fancy. And I was able to get a couple of extras at Stitch in London last year, you know, colours like, I think these were all colours that I ordered because I thought those in particular would fit in quite well. But I've got, I mean, these I've kind of picked out. I've still got some more Roxy Floss Co behind me, and I've got it in a couple of other projects as well that as that finishes, I'll be bringing, or if I look and I fancy a colour, I'll bring it across to this one. But so it's just a case of, you know, it has been designed in one colour, but I just fancy doing it in a variety. And yeah, that's where we are so far with it. I haven't got a plan, so I don't know what colour I'm going to do next or where. I'll probably come down and finish these flowers down here. I need to do the inside of this Quaker here and then perhaps go up. A lot of the ladies, they started, I think the middle is kind of here. So those who started in the middle have done this bit first. When I decided, for some reason unbeknownst to me, I started in the bottom left hand corner. Normally I'm a middle starter. I think it was because I knew what colour I wanted to do those first. I knew what colour I wanted to do this, and I knew what colour I wanted to do this. I don't think at the time I had because we started this in September and I didn't quite have as many of the colours, or the colours that I think I would have done that middle quack symbol in. I didn't have those until I went to Stitch in London, which was October. So I think that's why I started there, because I had the colours for those first few and I knew what I wanted to do. So I think that's why I did that. Can't quite remember, but I think that's why I did it. So yeah, so I was really pleased. I think because it was a Sunday, it was a good day to stitch on it, and I don't think I stitched on anything else. So 550 stitches in it just for one day. I think that's a pretty good result. So it's on my WIP Go board, so it might come out again at some point. Well, it will come out again, you know, when it's called on WIP Go, but also stitching it regularly on the second Sunday of the month also will be a massive kind of push to do it. And quite often when I do start stitching on something, I don't want to put it down. I do want to carry on. So this month I had other things that I needed to do, so I only stitched on it that one day. But, you know, potentially next month I then might go, oh, I'm going to carry on stitching it for a day or two after. So, you know, should make quite quick progress actually with it. So talking about WIP Go, what my WIP Go projects for February are Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs and Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs as well. Now I plan to stitch 5 sessions on each one in February. I've done 3 on Away We Ride, and I showed you that in my last Flosstube because I'd done that at the beginning of the month, and then I haven't touched it in the last 2 weeks, but I've done 3 sessions on Feast of Friendship. So I will pop a picture up of where I was last time. I'm stitching this with Lisa, the lovely Lisa at Lost in Stitches, and with the hashtag Feast of Friendship for Lisa. haven't seen Lisa for a while on Flosstube. So Lisa, hope you're well and we miss you and I hope we see you soon. So this is where I've got to. So you'll see I finished filling in that bowl and I've stitched the outline. We're better on the board. There we go. I've stitched the outline of the pumpkin and I've come up here a little bit as well. I've stitched the outline of the bottom of the bowl and then I've started to stitch this bit here. Now, I know I've got a Zoom coming up at the weekend with some friends, so I thought, great, if I can get these, so all I need to do is fill both of those in with one colour. That is really good Zoom stitching. And actually I feel, because I've kind of done that and I've come down here, I feel that I've actually made quite a lot of progress on it. It doesn't seem like it, you know, I've only done outlines, but just getting the bones into place to carry on with the next bit. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Zweigart called Cafe au Lait. Now I think up until this point, I don't think I'd actually been enjoying this as much as I thought I would. And I think it's possibly because it was 40 count. And now I have a magnifying lamp. I'm enjoying it far more and really enjoyed making this progress, doing these 3 sessions on it. So I've got another 2 sessions to do before the end of the month. I am stitching it with a mix of predominantly the called for fancy flosses if I had them, and there are a couple of DMCs in there as well, but predominantly the called for. So I've got another 2 sessions to do before the end of the month. One of them may be a Zoom where I can just get lots of stitches in to fill the pumpkin or fill the bottom of the vase, and then the other session I might just use to perhaps finish that box there at the bottom and maybe do the words, because then it'd be good to start. I've got 2 options. I can start coming up here and doing the border, but then I'm so close to the house as well, and I do like a good house, so it kind of adds a couple of different options there for a bit of variety. So good progress on WIP, go for that one. So I've got another 2 sessions to do on that before the end of the month, and I've got another 2 sessions to do on Away We Ride before the end of the month as well. So that should be pretty straightforward. Now, I have had a week of, I think because work's been hard, I've been feeling a little bit frazzled in the evenings, and I thought, oh, I don't really know if I've got the energy to stitch, and I felt that I've needed something that's quite easy to pick up. Don't necessarily need magnification to do it, because my eyes are tired, and with a bit of variety, but also with a bit of blocky stitches as well. And it's funny actually, because I was listening to my lovely friend Caroline, who's Caroline's Stitch Corner, a couple of floss tubes ago. She said she always likes to pick up a project on its anniversary. So if she started it a year ago, she'd pick it up a year later on its birthday. And I picked this one out. So it's Coffee and Eggs. And actually I started it on Valentine's Day last year with my friend Lisa, who I'd met at Stitch in London the year before in 2023. And Lisa's already finished it. And I picked it up a couple of days after Valentine's Day, but it really made me think of Caroline and thought, yeah, it's such a good idea. And I've actually just had a look through my book this morning, and the next project I've got, which I started last year, is Spring Quaker, which will be April for Alex's birthday. That was her birthday start last year, Alex, who's Salek Stitcher. So I can't wait. I'm definitely going to stitch on that on Alex's birthday. Alex has got a great Kathy Barrack house and she loves her houses, which she's going to start on her birthday. But I think probably trying to be really good and try and get WIPs done, I think I will probably stitch on Spring Quaker. So Coffee and Eggs seemed like a really good one to pick up just for some kind of not easy stitching. It's not easy, but just some enjoyable stitching. And I will have popped a picture to show you where I got to last time on it. And I've only done two evenings on this, but I finished the skirt and I've started on her leg. I finished her bun and I finished the mug, filled in the mug. That wasn't quite complete. And I've started on the coffee pot. And as you can see, I've got a hanging thread here because there's a white line that goes through it. And I just wanted to get some of that in. So I knew where to not stitch. So this is on 35 count parchment from Weeks Dye Works. And yes, so it was a Valentine's Day start last year. So it's good to be back. And actually, you know, I thought it wouldn't take me long to stitch this one, but it's a big old chart. You can see I've done the lady, not quite finished the rainbow. I've got the eggs, I've got the cup, but there's still that pot and the tree and the big chicken on top. You know, so it's actually quite, there's quite a lot of stitches in there, but it's a lovely, lovely one. And I think being 35 count, just and being able to do a few kind of blocks of stitches, it just gives me a little bit of respite, perhaps from something a little bit more complicated or smaller. So yeah, so it was lovely to pick that one up. I haven't stitched on it this year. I don't think I'd stitched on it the last couple of months of last year, actually. I haven't looked at when I last picked it up, but I think it's been a while. So yeah, really, really good to make some progress on that. And I can see myself probably leaving that out. I've got a weekend away in a couple of weekends, and I think that'll be a good one to take with me because it'll be easy to see, you know, depending on how good the light is and where I'm sitting, etc. So yeah, right. The sun's following me round. The sun's yeah. But I don't want it to go away. I want the weather to get better. Really do. Really want some sunshine and to be a bit more summery. So maybe if I just move forward a little bit. Anyway, that was Coffee and Eggs. Two more WIPs to show you. So Light from Barbara Anna. This is where I was last time you saw it. And I've got a little bit of a challenge on this one. So for the Zoom that I'll be doing at the weekend with some of my friends, we had a little challenge to stitch. I think I got really lucky. We'd played a little game. A dice was involved. I think I was really lucky that I only had to stitch. It was less than 200 stitches. Really, really got away with it quite lightly. But actually, I have actually stitched since that Zoom. I've stitched about 800 or 900 stitches. So since you last saw it, I've just started filling in these houses, filling in the hand up here. So I haven't, last time you saw it, I'd done quite a lot. I'd kind of finished this skirt and done the bottom. I haven't done an awful lot since you last saw it. I've only kind of hit down here really. But again, just picking it up and making some progress. So I did stitch this on Wednesday night. So I do Barbara Anna Wednesdays with the lovely Stitchy Sally, and there's so many of you lovely ladies that now join us stitching various different Barbara Annas. So it's wonderful on Thursday morning to go and see everybody's pictures on Instagram of what they've stitched the night before. And I really should post more on Instagram. I'm not as good at posting on Instagram as I would like to be, but it's all time and energy, isn't it? And I think sometimes in the evening it's too dark to do a decent photo, and then I get up in the morning and just the day starts and runs away with me, and by the time it's tea time it's dark again. So there we go. But I'm stitching this on 36 count fabric from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. It was a fabric of the month, but I know that I think she has this now in her main range, and she's called it Regal. And it's just, oh, it's a fabulous purple. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. There we go. And I'm stitching it with a few of the called for threads, but also I was really inspired by Jacinta at Crafting on the Plains, she'd stitched her dress with cinnamon toast. and I loved it. But actually I also really loved this colour, Nighty Night. Decided they went beautifully together and thought, well, I'll actually stitch the main dress with the Nighty Night, but then I'll use the Cinnamon Toast for the stars and the arms, and yeah, so I think they go beautifully together. So yeah, that was my little change. And I have changed the so the trees and the vines and the actual chart are charted up in blues, and I've changed them to greens because I just think that they look a little bit better on the purple fabric. And then because the dress is blue, yeah, I just think it looks good. It looks good. So there we go. My final WIP. So I've really enjoyed this one. It is the January Cotton and Twine box. And I was, again, Marie from Stitches in Diamonds gets these boxes as well. And she'd messaged me and said, it'd be great to do a stitch along. Are you up for it? Yes, of course I am. So Marie had broken the chart down into 4, and each Saturday we have started a new bit. So last Saturday we started on part number 3, and that includes the happiness. Not quite finished that yet, and then the flower down here. So this will be probably tonight, and it might be tomorrow as well, to actually get part number 3 finished, to start on part number 4 tomorrow, which is the flower at the top here and the flower at the side, and then it'll be done. Okay, it is lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, so I really would like to get this finished in this next week. I'd like to have it finished for the end of February, so I can get it off my WIP list. And I think I have a plan of what I'm going to do with it. It did come with a hoop, so I think I will put it in the hoop. But I think yeah, a plan for who I think I might gift it to somebody special. So there we go. That's Stitching My Way to Happiness, and it's beautiful. The colours came on fabulous card. Again, I showed the box for this back. Oh, I can't remember what Flosstube it was. If I can remember, I will. When I'm editing, I'll pop the number of which Flosstube I showed the box. I think another Flosstuber who showed this did say there are 1 or 2 boxes left that you can buy as part of, obviously post subscription, because obviously they do. You never quite know how many subscriptions I guess you're going to get, and you've got an idea of what's coming in, but actually on the day it's always good to be able to have extras, isn't it? So I think there were a couple of 1 or 2 extras, and just the colours, I popped these onto Floss Drops, and just gorgeous. So this has been a lovely one that kind of think about the summer coming and the sun and the better weather. But I've really enjoyed doing it. I've really enjoyed stitching along. Been quite a few friends that have done it as well, so it's been lovely to see everybody's progress, which has been fabulous. That's it. That's my WIP. So I feel like I've not really done an awful lot, but I've put quite a lot into that. I've put quite a lot into the Quacker. I have actually done a little bit of secret stitching as well, which I can't tell you about just yet, but I'm sure in the next couple of weeks you'll see what I've been doing. So there's been little things going on as well, but yeah, I don't feel that I've perhaps done as much as usual, but I haven't really stitched any less. So I think, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, plans. So at the moment I've got one firm new start. It's really nice this year. Last year was a wonderful year with the 50 new starts, and it was quite, there was quite a lot of, well, I have to start this, I have to put something down, and I have to start something new because we've got this schedule, There were quite a few that Sarah and I were starting on the same day, and we'd agreed that. There were other projects, other stitch-alongs that I decided committed to with friends, so I had to do it. So whatever I was stitching, however much I was enjoying it, I was putting it down and picking up a new start. This year, obviously, don't have that pressure, and I was very much I'm going to start everything in January. I'm just going to start everything. And it came to it, and I've just not wanted to. And it's fine. I really have enjoyed picking up some of those WIPs from last year and remembering. I think I was listening to Teresa Little Stitcher yesterday. She has finished her big, oh gosh, God, what's it called now? I can't remember. Oh, her big chatelaine in the park. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And she was saying, it took her 8 years to stitch it. And she said the memories, the things, so much happened in her life in those eight years. So many, and things do happen. You pick something up and that you were stitching when something happened, or even sometimes just what you were watching on television. You pick it up and it kind of goes, oh yeah, I can remember this, and this was going on, and it's lovely to have that kind of intricated into our intricated. Is that a word? Part of our stitching, because we're doing it when life is going on around us. Sometimes, aren't we? I quite often sit up here and the household is just getting on with their lives, but they're coming in and they're telling me about them. They're asking me questions. Things are going on. Boyfriends are coming over for visits, and I'm sitting stitching and hearing giggling going on, and which is lovely. And so you start to have these memories, and stitching holds great memories for us. So let's just shut the other curtain. So it's been really wonderful to pick up some of my WIPs from last year and stitch them, and remember, when I stitched them at Stitch in London, or the Big Stitch, or at Cheshire Stitchers when I was with friends. That brings great memories back. So it's been really lovely to pick up some of those WIPs and get on with them. And I am a little bit of I like to get finishes. Does that make so? I think this makes me process stitching, doesn't it? That I like to get finishes, and then I don't actually really do anything with it necessarily. It's a bit harder for me to actually get it fully finished, but I like to just finish it. I like to start, I like to finish. So it's been wonderful. I started some quite big projects last year, some quite big stitches. So it's been lovely to get some time in on them. So I'm kind of not been really holding myself too much to new starts. If I fancied it, I've just done it. But there is one coming up. I always love a stitch along with Stitchy Sally. Always love it. Sally was one of the first Instagrammers and Flosstubers that I kind of discovered when I joined Instagram and found Flosstube. And she's become such a lovely friend. We do Barbara Anna's, and but anyway, she loves robins. I bought this pattern at Stitch in London last year, and I'd kind of thought I must get another one of these and send it to Sally for her birthday or for Christmas. But actually, I think a member of her family beat me to it. So I knew she'd got it. So I messaged her and said, shall we start it together? So we've had a little bit of a when shall we start it? And I think she's wanted to finish something because she's quite strict, Sally. She sets herself, I think she has about 6 projects on the go at one time. So I was happy to kind of hang on for her to finish something, because actually that's given me a little bit more time to kind of get on with some of my things. So the first week of March, we are going to start the Rocking Robin together, and he is just so cute. Such a cute little robin. And I'm actually going to stitch this on a beautiful piece of fabric from Swan Bay Fabrics, a lovely neutral, which is called Eleanor's Ivory. So it's a very, very pale, I think, now I can't quite see with the wind, there is a very, very slight pink to it, pink tint, but It's a really good neutral, and there's some beautiful, there's a colour that I'm missing actually on the kind of orangey coral colours. So there's one extra in there because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to go with, but I've pulled it out anyway and I'll stitch what goes best. So I pretty much had most of the called for threads in my stash, but I think there's just two. I think that green I've had to substitute. I didn't have that one, and then there's one of those is supposed to be, I can't remember which colour, and I've picked two substitutes, and I'll see which looks better when I actually start stitching it. So first week of March, if you'd like to join us, we haven't got a hashtag for it, but you know, Rockin' Robin, Love Poppet. If you'd like to do it, come and join us. Gorgeous. Can't wait. And it's quite small. I think I will have that done in March. It will be done pretty quick, which is great, because haven't got anything particularly big that I've committed to start either. So there's a couple of things I really want to get round to doing soon. But yeah, it's nice just to be relaxed. Really nice just to be relaxed about it all. So who have I been watching? Well, Teresa yesterday. Garden in the Park. Chatelaine. Go and have a watch. I mean, everybody already watches Teresa, but to have finished her Chatelaine, Park in the Garden in the Park, having a real complete, but it was wonderful. And Teresa showed some of the speciality stitches. She explained some of, you know, how she went about doing it, how she started it, talked about the trees. lots of lovely friends went in and stitched trees for her, because that was the thing she really struggled with. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So go and have a watch of that. Didn't write down. Oh, my lovely friend Karen, she recently did an update. That was great to see her. Stitchy Sally tends to do every other Wednesday, which is fantastic. Who else have I watched this week? Again, my brain is just completely gone blank. But I've been trying to catch up on my Flosstube. There we go. Under 40 minutes. I think that's because I haven't really stitched on many projects. Just a couple, and quite a lot of stitching on them, I think. But there we go. Hey, that's what happens sometimes. So thank you for joining me. As I said earlier, if you haven't already subscribed, it would be fantastic if you could. It just gives it lets YouTube know that people like listening to me, and then it pushes me out to some other people who might not have discovered me before. And I just like talking to everybody. I really do. Oh, that's it. I've been watching Crafty Emily. I hadn't watched Emily before, and I think Elaine at Ellie Welly Stitcher said to me last summer, have you watched Crafty Emily? She's really good. I was like, no, I haven't. Or I think I might have watched her once, and stitches quite different things to me. Emily does a lot of full coverage, some really big projects. And I said, oh, she's lovely. And I thought, well, I'll go and watch her again. And actually I really enjoy watching her. Even though we do stitch different things, because it doesn't matter, does it? Sadly, Emily's partner was really poorly, or became really poorly, a couple of weeks ago. And Emily did come on this week and film and said he's getting better, but you know, it's been a horrible time for them. And I think he's still really quite poorly, but her stitching is keeping her going. And it was wonderful to hear that there was some positive news. I don't think Emily watches me, but if you do, Emily, I've really been thinking about you, and hoping that Richard is okay and you're all getting there together. So if you haven't watched Emily, do go and give her a watch. I really like the way she sets herself little challenges, or quite big challenges each month, and just her enthusiasm for her stitching is really 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 motivates me as well. I really, even though she's stitching different things to me, it makes me, when I'm watching her, it makes me, if I'm not stitching, I think I was cooking dinner when I was watching her last week on my tablet, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to get upstairs and do some stitching, because just that encouragement to go and stitch was wonderful. So I really recommend going over and watching Emily, and just perhaps giving her some love and support at what is a really difficult time for her at the moment. So yeah, on that slightly somber note, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for all the comments that you all lovingly leave for me each week. It was great last time. Quite a few of you told me what you'd been stitching on. Maybe this time, what have you got planned? Any plans coming up? Any stitch alongs that you're doing? Yeah, let me know down below what you're getting up to over the next couple of weeks. So thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, subscribing, doing all those things that you do. And I shall see you very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.